6 months ago, she was just being helpful. Today, she controls every aspect of his financial life. I'm Michael Hackard with Hackard Law. Welcome to part 2 of our Trust Trap series, where we expose how innocent assistance becomes systematic exploitation. In part 1, we revealed the 6 warning signs of how trust traps begin, from helpful takeovers to professional isolation. But the initial setup is just the foundation. Today, we're diving into the financial entanglement phase, where the real stealing begins. The financial entanglement phase typically occurs between months 6 to 18 of a trust trap scheme. This is when helpful assistance transforms into systematic control, and the victim's financial life becomes completely intertwined with their abuser's agenda. So red flag number 7, document blizzard. Watch for multiple trust or will amendments within short time periods. In legitimate estate planning, major changes happen rarely and with careful consideration. Trust trap victims suddenly need updates every few months. I've seen cases where elderly clients had 7 different will versions in 9 months. Each change moved more assets toward the creditor. Plausible explanations are created for why family members are being removed. Red flag number 8, stranger beneficiaries. Be alarmed when new beneficiaries appear who are recent acquaintances. Caregivers or their family members suddenly appear in estate documents. One client's mother suddenly included her house cleaner's 3 children as beneficiaries. These were people she'd never met before the scheme began. Red flag number 9, charitable cleansing. Notice systematic removal of longtime charitable organizations or family beneficiaries. Predators hate competition for assets. They convince victims that charities are wasteful. Family members don't deserve inheritance due to manufactured grievances. Red flag number 10, mystery accounts. Question creation of new accounts or financial arrangements without clear explanation. Trust trap operators often establish accounts only they can access. These are supposedly for the victim's protection. Legitimate family members are excluded from access or knowledge. Red flag number 11, power grab. Be extremely cautious of power of attorney documents granting broad authority to non-family members. These documents essentially transfer complete financial control. The recipient may have known your loved one for mere months. Broad language allows unlimited access to all assets. Number 12, religious manipulation. Watch for abusers using religious or moral authority to justify financial changes. God wants you to help those who help you as a common manipulation tactic. Spiritual advisors may be recruited to support the scheme. Religious guilt becomes a tool for financial control. And I have a case study on this, Helen's financial entanglement. Let me share how the financial entanglement phase unfolds. I represented a widow, we'll call her Helen, who had helped build a successful California business with her late husband. The financial manipulation was systematic. Helen's longtime financial advisor was suddenly too expensive, didn't understand her needs. A licensed professional fiduciary introduced new investment advisors who worked exclusively with him. Within 3 months, Helen had signed 5 different power of attorney amendments. Each amendment gave the fiduciary broader control over different asset categories. New bank accounts were opened for Helen's protection, but only the fiduciary had access. Helen's charitable giving, which had been consistent for decades, was redirected to organizations the fiduciary recommended. When family members asked about these changes, they were told Helen wanted privacy in her financial affairs. The scheme accelerated rapidly. The fiduciary convinced Helen to update her trust 4 times in 6 months. Each revision reduced family members' inheritances while increasing his management fees. Helen was told these changes were necessary because tax laws had changed. The fiduciary created a sense of urgency. We need to make these changes before the new regulations take effect. What made this particularly insidious was the professional veneer. Everything appeared legitimate on the surface, with proper legal documents and licensed professionals involved. The psychology of entanglement. And why don't victims see what's happening during this phase? Trust trap operators frame financial control as protection and expertise. They create artificial complexity that makes victims feel dependent on their help. Every change is presented as being in the victim's best interest. They manufacture urgency to prevent careful consideration. Victims become isolated from independent advice just when they need it most. But financial entanglement is just the setup for the final phase of trust traps, the manufactured crisis. In Part 3, we'll reveal how predators use fake medical emergencies and fraudulent incapacity declarations to lock in their theft permanently. If you recognize any of these financial entanglement patterns, time's running out. Trust traps accelerate rapidly once they reach this phase. Contact an elder abuse attorney immediately. At Hackard Law, we've unraveled sophisticated financial entanglements that seemed impossible to break. Subscribe for Part 3, and remember, every document signed makes these schemes harder to undo. Hackard Law, advocating for the vulnerable, one estate at a time. If you found this information helpful, please like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more legal insights and updates. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. We're here to help.